So we're back.
Hi.
We're back. Hi. We're obviously on many different platforms at the same time. All right, so we had a good conversation this morning. We tend to start our day with these conversations, right?
They always feel me.
Always. Okay, so let's start this. All right, so we had a conversation this morning about competitive versus creative and the energy around that, and then how you use that, right? And we're going to go into it. We'll talk about it specifically with you guys, but how do you use that creative energy as opposed to competitive energy? How do you use the creative energy to move your life forward in the way that you're looking to do it? And then you came in with a story around, so go ahead, tell them where you were at with filling space and needing to move, because that was really part of the story, your need to move.
You're talking about
moving,
yeah, that part. So by I guess being around Johanna, by doing the work that she's also teaching all of us to do with our journaling, with our visualization, with our quiet space in the morning, I am needing more of that. I need to do that every day. And I said this before, if I don't do that work in the morning, my whole day is done. But I need it more than I ever have. I need that quiet space. She's always saying get quiet, and I've realized that the quiet space that I need, I'm not necessarily getting in the space that I'm at being home. Mm-hmm. And I've known I knew I've been wanting to move out for the longest time, and I really have. But now with this massive growth that I'm experiencing with this work and with everything that's happening with us and with the company, and
oh my God,
it's insane. It's insane, and I feel like I'm seriously just outgrowing my space, big time, more than I ever have before. And I require a lot more of that space and that quiet space so I can do this work efficiently and effectively. Because I've noticed, when I try to do it, I'm not in my own space. I'm not in my own. Even if I have my own room in my home, I'm not in my own energy. I'm not in my own space. I need. Mm-hmm. And I was saying to Hannah, I was I'm so ready. I've never been more ready ever in my life. I made use of everything I'm doing at home. I really have. I've always tried to and I've created stories as to why I should stay, and I've done all this for months and months and months. But now, with this rapid pace that we're going, I'm so ready. It's not even funny.
Well, that was kind of the point of it. So just so you know what we're talking about, so we do a study every morning. We do a personal study every morning, by ourselves, and then when we come in, we do a study and vision work here in the office before we get started with our day, kind of just catching up, making sure we're on the same page, even energetically, and going out there. So it's very interesting how always the study leads to whatever's apropos, right? It's
always. So when she read this passage to me this morning, I was figures.
Yeah,
figures.
And then she tells me, and I said, okay, so that's because you filled the space, and then going on what we talked about yesterday, the acting, you need to act, right? But act where you're at, thrive where you're already planted, and then when you're going to outgrow that space, and then you'll move into the next space. So even though you've had an idea for well over a year that you need to have your own place, you didn't fill that space up enough yet for it to move on to the next thing, where there was no question, the ships have been burned, that's it, you're gonna, you have to move on to the next space. And that's what it gets, for a lot of people. Now, some people get upset with themselves when that happens, because they say, why do I have to let it get to this point? Why not just call it a blessing that that's what happens? Because for most people, that's the point you have to get to, right? That's the point, and that you should get to. So I was reading her a couple of passages from what I was reading this morning in The Science of Getting Rich. There's never any hurry on the creative plane. There is no lack of opportunity, right? So we're going to talk about competitive versus creative in a moment. When you get out of the competitive mind, you'll understand that you never need to act hastily. No one else is going to beat you to the thing you want to do. There is enough for all. I love that, right? And it goes over, if space is taken, another and better one will open up for you a little further down the line. In other words, so what happens, I think, is a lot of people go into a very competitive mode. And when you're in this mindset of, think about this for a moment, right? When you're in the mindset of being competitive, there's an understanding that one person wins and another person loses, right? Or one team wins and another team loses. That there's only, in other words, that there could only be enough for one, and therefore there's a lack for another. Right.
Yeah.
So that's actually not how the universe works at all.
Of course.
Right? So God created it so that there's abundance for everybody. There's opportunities everywhere. There's abundance for everybody. And if we're in that competitive mode, I got to get to this first because that person who does the same or similar thing or whatever than me, if they're doing that and I don't get to it first, then I'm going to lose out. Mm-hmm. If you are even in that mindset, if you are even in that channel of thinking, then you are in that competitive mode, you are in lack mode, you are going to halt the universe from responding.
Which is so interesting.
Right. So here, remember that in the moment you begin to hurry, and that's not to say that you can't do things quickly.
Right.
Hurriedness is without thought.
Right.
Right? That's what it means. Like, you could still do things fast, and you grow fast and all that, and you can be very focused, and when you get very focused and things come to you, it often happens quickly.
Right.
But being hurried is more like, I kind of think of like how a mouse is, like just going over, like just all over the place.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that in the moment you begin to hurry, you cease to be a creator and become a competitor. You drop back upon the old plane again. Whenever you find yourself hurrying, call a halt. Fix your attention on the mental image of the thing you want and begin to give thanks that you are getting it. The exercise of gratitude will never fail to strengthen your faith and renew your purpose. So again, when you get into that creative mind now, and how do you get back to it? So you're in this competitive mode, you know you're in this competitive mode, and listen, I am like ridiculously competitive with myself.
With yourself, exactly.
I don't compete with other people. If I find myself, and I've had to train my brain because I was a competitive athlete forever. So it took me a long time to retrain my brain in this. But even as a competitive athlete, I was really competing against myself. I always wanted to just be better at what I was doing. So I think of the same thing here, and this is the point of it. When you are competitive with yourself, you actually become more of a creator because you want to be the best at what you're doing. Again, going along with what we talked about yesterday, be the best at what you do. Just be the best. And when you're the best at what you do, you start to fill that up and it starts to overflow and you give gratitude for it, right? And at the time you're being the best at what you do, you're visualizing whatever else it is you desire because that's the energy of it, right?
Yeah.
Then you give gratitude that it's already coming to you. Then you have the expectation. It is done. There's nothing else you can do because you're just so focused on it. You have the expectation that it's going to happen. Now it's coming into your experience. When you start to overflow in the experience that you were already in, right, then another opportunity will show up because you've outgrown what you're currently in.
You know, it's funny. I think we can use the example of us in the office as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been saying for a while, like, we've been wanting to find a new space, a new office space for what we've been doing because we're just growing so fast and we're just providing so much content and just, we're nonstop. Like, we're just nonstop with everything we're doing and creating. And we're like, but now we need a new space. But that space hasn't approached itself to us yet because we haven't fully, we've looked and we haven't fully utilized all that we have here in this space.
Right.
And we, again, like you said, we have to utilize what we have in order to expand more.
Absolutely.
In order to get more. And that's, you know, that just came to me. I was like, wow, that's so interesting.
So so you don't have to worry about anything else. Right. You just know that it is going to happen. That's where your faith comes in. That's when your purpose comes in, right? Yeah. You know that it's just going to happen. So you move from that space. Like, I'm not ever sitting here worried about something, right? Yeah. We don't. And it's not that I don't have the range of human emotion. I do. When I get to that space, I'm really like, okay, I gotta stop what I'm doing, right? I love how it says come to a halt because how often am I saying, like, gotta get still.
Yeah.
Let's get still. Let's get clear on the vision. Let's get quiet. Let's get clear on the vision again. Now, some people will say, no, I've reached success and I'm just out there and I'm hustling and I'm doing this, I'm doing, you know, and winner take all and whatever. Listen, you will reach a certain level of success. You will. You absolutely will. You might stumble into it. You might go directly into it. You can feel great. It might be the place that you want to be and you're good there. But what's going to happen, for some of you at least, you're going to say, well, if I was able to get here, then could I get here? Can I get here? Can I do things I never even imagined that I could do? Things that I have been passionate about but haven't attempted because I'm good at this over here, but what if can I be good at something else at the same, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly what you're saying.
So it like opens and expands your mind up, and in order for that to really continue on, you have to get quiet. You have to get in the vision. You have to get into more creative mode, because if you're only staying in competitive mode, what happens when you win?
Right.
You have no room to expand. You know what I'm saying? You have to, in creative mode, the creation just keeps unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. Whereas this always, in a competitive mode, there's a certain sense of this will come to an end, and when it ends, I will win. The other thing is, when you're in a more creative mode, and let's say you're competitive too, because I'm competitive, but I'm competitive with myself.
I am, yeah.
right?
Very hard on
When
myself.
you're in more of a creative mode or creator mode, you're more of a creator, you are looking for win-win situations always.
Always.
You are not looking for that person that said, like I had given you an example of something that happened with a yoga studio, right? Where one yoga studio was, could have easily gone into a competitive mode with another or several other yoga studios that were local. And this was several years ago. And I said, instead of going into competing with each other, why not create together, find the win-win? And this owner was smart, and she's still very brilliant, and she did that. And she ended up finding a way to go into business with all of them so that they were still mutually exclusive, but that they were able to build it, build out a whole other life and create another stream of income. Right? So it's when you start thinking like that, like, let's be creative in this, right? You are going to design your life. You're going to create your life. You're not going to push through it and knock someone else down and step on them in order to get to where you want to go. When you get it, or be threatened because something else comes into your experience that feels like it compete with you. Maybe part of that is to say, okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to get more creative, not competitive. I'm going to get more creative because if that person is really good at this, so much so that I see them as a competitor, maybe there's a different sort of angle or edge that I could take that will make me better at what I do and take me in a direction I wasn't even aware of.
Absolutely.
But you can only do this if you get silent. If you find yourself like, hurry, everything's hasty and all, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. You're going to stop yourself from that growth process. And then what happens, people say, I don't understand what happened. I've been sitting here grinding every day. How come I'm not getting anywhere? Well, eventually, that mouse is going to end up on the wheel. That's what happens, right? And then you're just spinning and spinning and spinning. That's how it goes. So for you in your situation, when you came in this morning and said, I feel like I'm really outgrowing my space, I'm like, boom! That's exactly what you're doing.
That's exactly
and it's about time, like you described it perfectly.
No, it's so true.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time to move on from that space, there's just no thought about it. It just flows. It's exactly what it should be.
Yeah. I like you even said even with ranks. So even with Young Living, it's like if you're an executive, you have to be the best executive you possibly can be in order to rank to the next level, which is silver. Like even for you, it's diamonds. Like you have to be the best you can be with where you're at right now. No matter what it is.
And whatever you're acting
Whatever it is.
So for those of you who always ask us, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but going along with that thought, it's like somebody says, okay, I want to be more, I have been stuck at Senior Star, say in Young Living, right? I have been stuck at Senior Star. Can you all see this here? What oil is this, right? We use this all the time. I'll put it over here. Use your oils, right? But people say, I'm stuck at Senior Star. And be the best damn Senior Star that exists. Be awesome. Be awesome at Senior Star.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
When you are the best at where you're at, when you are just the best at what you're doing, then you're able to move on to the next space. Plus, you'll have pride in that. You'll feel good about it. Like, you should be looking at every rank or every step in your, in whatever you're doing. It's just being the best in that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. And it shows the universe that you're responsible enough to carry more.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we have Katie back here. She's a student, right?
Yeah.
Be the best student that you could be.
Yeah.
She does all of our graphic work. So everything that you see here graphic-wise for LivingFit.Club, right there, right? College student, she continues doing it. She does a great job. Be the best at doing that for us.
Yeah.
Right? And then you grow, all from that space.
Yeah.
But if you're too busy saying, I don't want to sit here at Senior Star, I deserve to be Diamond, okay, but you're not even good at Senior Star.
Yeah.
Be good at Senior Star, then be good at Executive, then Silver, then or whatever it is that you're doing. Be great. Like we used yesterday. You're an accountant, you want to be a lawyer. Great. Yeah. Be the best dang accountant you could be, and visualize in that act of being great. Visualize then being the lawyer.
Yes.
And then it'll come to you. And have gratitude. Gratitude for it already happening. Give thanks. Thank you. I am so grateful that I am the best, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Make sense?
I love that. Yes. Great. Yes.
All right.
I'm all amped up now.
Let's go. Let's hit it. All right. You will be able to find this video on YouTube if you want to share it right from this page. Of course, always tag people that you believe will benefit from this information. We appreciate that. Anyone on any of these feeds, and it will go up on YouTube where you could also share it from the link.
Yep.
You know, you can share from the link there, and if you'd like to learn more about this and really delve into this type of lifestyle, this type of thinking, we'd love for you to join Living Fit Club. Click on the link or go to LivingFit.Club and become an LFCer, right?
You really want to do that. We're not just saying, you really want to become an LFCer. If you're ready to get to the next level in your life, you seriously need to be in a Living Fit Club.
Right? It's like diving into the
That's
work.
just it.
Diving into
That
the
really
stuff.
is. You need to. You need to.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Bye.